Mobile water, unique in every way.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Citi News.
It's midday. Hello and welcome to the Citi Prime News, coming to you live from our studio at number 11, Dr. Martin Loop in Adabraka, Accra. I am Ejubi Wiafe Akintin. Coming up.
PURC and the government, within 6 months, they have increased electricity tariffs by 16.4%.
Nagbe West Palace cancels 2025 Bugum Fire Festival in Tamale and surrounding communities over growing security concerns. Coming up.
PURC and the government, within 6 months, they have increased electricity tariffs by 16.45%, almost 70%.
Minority sparks renewed calls for Energy Minister's appearance in Parliament over the latest increment in electricity tariffs. Also coming up in this bulletin.
Regional peace, security, stability, predictability, and prosperity through good neighborliness were all jettisoned at one time or the other.
Former President of Nigeria Olusegun Obasanjo advocates for unity among ECOWAS member states to foster economic growth. Still ahead.
The Ghana Police Service has a cardinal role to play. The police will be expected to provide the needed security to ensure that the citizenry, as well as the workers, are well protected at all times. Ghana Police Service affirms its commitment to government's flagship 24-hour economy policy. Stay with us for details of these and many others stories in the next 30 minutes. The news is live around the globe on citinewsroom.com. And around our affiliates, it's live in the Western region. You can tune into Beach 105.5 FM and Sky 93.5 FM, both in Takrade. In the Bono region, Greener 95.9 in Sunyani. In the Ashanti region, it's Focus 94.3 FM in Kumasi. Tune in to Orange 107.9 FM in Kumasi. And in the Volta region, we are live on Revival 99.3 FM in Tajewu. VOV Radio is also live on 95.7 FM in Hohoi. In the Northern region, we are Radio Bimbala 91.9 FM. And in the Upper East region, you can tune in to Quality 88.7 FM in Garu. In the Upper West region, we are Radio Tungsong 97.3 FM in Wa. Please stay with us.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Hello and welcome again. Let's settle for the details. And the Gbewa Palace has officially cancelled the 2025 Bugum Fire Festival in Tamale and its surrounding communities, citing growing security concerns. The decision follows extensive consultation between the overlord of Dagbon in Yana Abukari II and key stakeholders including traditional leaders, security agencies and other relevant authorities. In a statement issued on Thursday and signed by the Palace Secretary Abdul Rahman Mohammed, the Gbewa Palace explained that the cancellation was necessitated by rising tensions among certain factions in the area. In an interview with Citi News, spokesperson of the overlord of Dagbon, Musa Yakubu, indicated that the decision has been welcomed by indigents.
The reason behind the ban on the fire festival for 2025 in the Tamale metropolis has to do with the intelligence that security has picked from the ground. If we recall, about a week ago, One gentleman was shot dead, and up to now, the security are still reviewing the security situation in Tamale, and we are picking intelligence that indicates that some other people may want to use this particular activity to retaliate or cause a mayhem. I will not say that will have a negative impact on these communities because peace is very paramount. We need to preserve the peace we are enjoying. And I believe that the people themselves, majority has welcomed this particular decision.
Meanwhile, Musa Yakubu has explained that not all communities will be affected by the suspension. He revealed that enough security measures have been put in place to avert the further attacks.
The following communities: Gutegu, Mbamvum, Sandargu, Lamashagu. These are the communities that His Majesty has asked not to participate. But there are other communities under the 4 communities that I just mentioned. For example, Kamvuli and other small communities around. Otherwise, Nantong, Savlugu, elsewhere, for them, they can celebrate the fire festival. We have been in talk with the security agency. RESEC is on top of the issue, and I believe that tomorrow evening the security will be on the ground doing patrols to make sure that nobody comes out to celebrate the fire festival. However, our normal activities can still move on, but for the fire festival, no. So the security will be on the ground tomorrow evening. Even tomorrow from the morning up to evening, the security will be on the ground per the communication between Bewa Palace and RESEC. So they will be on top of the issues, and we believe that it will be enforced by the grace of Allah.
You heard the spokesperson of the Overlord of Dagon, Musa Yakubu, speaking on the cancellation of the 2025 Bugum Fire Festival in Tamale. Away from that, the minority in Parliament is renewing its call on the Minister for Energy and Green Transition to appear before the House and justify the latest increment in electricity tariffs. This follows an announcement by the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission, PURC, of a 2.45% upward adjustment in electricity tariffs for all category of consumers effective July 1, 2025. The adjustment comes as part of the PURC's routine quarterly review conducted every 3 months. Reacting to the development on the floor of Parliament, Minority Leader Alexander Penyomakin described the frequent hikes in electricity tariffs as burdensome and unacceptable. He argued that consumers deserve clarity on the rationale behind the increases, especially at a time when many Ghanaians are grappling with economic hardship.
PURC and the government, within 6 months, they have increased.
We apologize for the quality of that insert. Meanwhile, the minority leader has also criticized what he describes as harsh bail conditions being imposed on some former government appointees currently under investigation for various alleged offences by IOCO.
Mr. Speaker, can you imagine that IOCO has now introduced a certain bail condition?
We'll bring you the voices for this particular story in our subsequent bulletin. Let's move on to some other stories where the Ghana Police Service has cautioned officers to desist from intimidating the public. This was given by the Director General of the Ghana Police Service in charge of services, COP Dr. Ernest Kwabena Owusu, at the passing out ceremony of 545 new recruits from the Ashanti Regional Police Training School. Out of this, 298 are females and 247 of them are males. Dr. Kwabena Owusu urged the recruits to be mindful of their role in maintaining peace and security in Ghana.
I urge you all on parade to exhibit high level of competence that complements the confidence that the citizens repose in you. In order to live up to the public trust expectation, you must enforce the law fairly with utmost respect for citizens and their human rights. The motto for the Ghana Police Service, service with integrity, highlights the public expectations of you as a police officers. We should take note that as police officers, you are servants of the people and must serve with integrity. You are also reminded that a good police-public relationship is very essential for public trust and vital for the public to volunteer information to aid police investigation and operations, as it is said that to every crime committed, there is one public eye that sees it. As soon to be constables, as you take your oath today, remember that the badge on your chest is not a license to intimidate, but a pledge to serve with humility.
Meanwhile, COP Dr. Ernest Kwabena also has stressed on the role of the police in the successful implementation of a 24-hour economy.
The police administration has taken cognizance of government vow, aim of implementing the flagship 24-hour economy. For such a monumental policy to be implemented successfully, the Ghana Police Service has a cardinal role to play. The police will be expected to provide the needed security to ensure that the citizenry, as well as the workers, are well protected at all times, to go about their legitimate economic and social pursuit without undue hindrances by the societal delinquent and avowed agent of violent crime and lawlessness. In line with its proactive measures, the police administration has established a new unit at the police headquarters known as the 24-hour Economy Security Secretariat to oversee the security coordination of the implementation of a 24-hour economy. The country's reliance on the Ghana Police Service for their role in promoting peace, security, and social cohesion necessary for national development cannot be overemphasized.
That was the Director General of Services of the Ghana Police Service, Dr. Ernest Kwabena, also speaking there. Away from that, government says it is committed to collaborating with key institutions, including the Office of the Attorney General, the Office of the Special Prosecutor, and STRAJ in its anti-corruption fight. This follows the inauguration of a working group responsible for drafting Ghana's next national anti-corruption strategy. Chief of Staff Julius Deborah, who was speaking at the inauguration, assured of the presidency's continued support to promoting human rights and administrative justice and called for a strategy that prioritizes legal action.
Accountability and the fight against corruption constitute a key pillar in the legacy term of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. The complexities of corruption that confront us today equally requires a sophisticated approach to combating it. This requires the application of technology, outside-the-box thinking, effective legislation, independent anti-corruption institutions, a strong political will, and a focused leadership to be able to uproot this canker from our society. It is therefore our expectation that the design of the new national anti-corruption strategy should depart somewhat from the assumptions, programs, and implementation mechanism of the previous NACAP to enable us to achieve meaningful, sustainable results within the shortest possible time.
That was the Chief of Staff Julius Deborah speaking there. Now, the Member of Parliament for Busumtwi and former Minister of Education, Dr. Yao Osei Educhum, is urging Ghana to adopt India's model of poverty eradication as a pathway to becoming a developed nation. Dr. Educhum pointed to India's reported 9.9% economic growth in 2024, highlighting the country's success in leveraging its large population to stimulate internal demand for goods and services. He believes Ghana can draw vital lessons from India's strategy to revamp its own economy. Speaking to journalists after an address to Parliament by India's Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi, Dr. Educhum says India's economic recovery must serve as a motivation to Ghana.
Last year they had 9.9% economic growth, huge by some accounts. Whichever way you look at it, they are moving for leveraging on their population. They have a huge internal demand for goods and services, and they are using that to really bring their economy up. I think what they have done in terms of elimination of poverty should be an important marker for all of us, for African countries, that if India has moved up and they are moving up, and by 2047, by their own accounts, they are going to be a developed nation. We have to ask ourselves, where are we going? Are we also projecting becoming a developed nation soon? So that the Indian example will be a great inspiration to us, those of us in Africa. Singapore has done it. South Korea has done it. In fact, South Koreans will always remind you that at the time of independence, you were richer than us. They've reminded me 2 times. Everywhere you meet a South Korean, they will tell you, hey, in 1960, you guys were richer than us. What happened? When Lee Kuan Yew visited Ghana in 1963, he saw a booming economy, and when he went back, he wrote it in his memoir that the Ghanaian travel challenged him and made him know that he doesn't have gold, he doesn't have diamond, no bauxite, but he's going to change his country through education, and he did.
You heard Member of Parliament for Bosomtwe and former Education Minister Dr. Yao Osei Edichum speaking there. This is still the Citi Prime News. Still ahead in the bulletin, former President of Nigeria Olusegun Obasanjo advocates for unity among ECOWAS member states to foster economic growth. We'll take a quick breather. We'll be back with more news.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Are you searching for a world-class conferencing facility to elevate your next event? Do you need a bougie look for that all-important corporate, board meeting, or private social event? The Alisa Pavilion has an unmatched capacity. Our expansive conference center comfortably seats 1,000 persons in a theater-style setup. This makes it ideal for large conferences, product launches, weddings, social events, and exhibitions. There are 2 executive boardrooms set up for your high-profile meetings. With the importance of seamless technology integration, our facilities are equipped to support your audiovisual needs. Looking for an oasis of bliss? Saunter into our Oasis Lounge and Bistro on Thursdays for Thirsty Thursday, while you enjoy a whopping 15% discount. Make a date for Saturday Barbecue, where we have alfresco dining for nature lovers in our lush manicured lawns, while you savor lip-smacking dishes. The Alisa Hotel Pavilion, where great minds convene and beautiful memories are created. Alisa Hotels, our Aquaba means more than just welcome.
When the stars come out, Ghana Weekend turns up the lights. From the hottest red carpet moments to the wildest after parties. And for all your celebrations, anniversaries, and unforgettable moments, if it's happening, we're there. First, fast, and fabulously. Your front row pass to Ghana's A-list lifestyle is just a click or a channel away. GhanaWeekend.com and Ghana Weekend TV, where fame meets the fans. Promote your next big event with us, because when you party with the stars, the whole nation of Black Stars should know. Visit GhanaWeekend.com, watch and subscribe to Ghana Weekend TV on YouTube. Stay connected with us across all platforms. Follow us on Instagram with the handle at GhanaWeekend.com, on X at Ghana Weekend, on TikTok, Ghana Weekend, and on Facebook at Ghana Weekend. Join the Ghana Weekend family today. Ghana Weekend, all access, all glam, all yours.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
You're welcome back. Let's bring you more stories this afternoon. And former President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Olusegun Obasanjo, has bemoaned the level of corruption among ECOWAS member states. Delivering a Republic Day speech on the theme ECOWAS and its survival, the impact of the Sahelian States Alliance and the way forward, he called for introspection among leaders of member states. Obasanjo urged them to critically assess the reasons behind the breakaway of the Sahelian states and to address their grievances in order to prevent further division within the regional bloc.
Let anyone point with certainty to any country in ECOWAS where corruption in different forms or guises is not the vein of development and progress. All the four principles of equality of state, interstate cooperation and harmonization of policy, no aggression between member states, and maintenance of regional peace, security, stability, predictability, and prosperity through good neighborliness were all jettisoned at one time or the other. We do not need to go back to the drawing board. We have all we need for a bouncing, thriving, and the best regional economic community.
Olusegun Obasanjo is a former president of the Republic of Nigeria. Now, the United States government has reaffirmed its commitment to deepening cooperation with Ghana. Speaking at an event in Accra to commemorate the 245th Independence Day of the United States, Deputy Head of Missions and Charge d'Affaires Rolf Olson highlighted the vast potential for increased trade and investment between the two nations aimed at creating shared prosperity.
Whatever forms they may take, our mutual interests and partnerships in trade, security, health, and more will continue going forward in ways that are both familiar and that are new. Together, we can create increased prosperity for both our nations, building on our generations of connections between families and businesses. We can build on the strong foundations that U.S. assistance helped construct by fostering increased private sector-led growth in energy, mining, and various other critical sectors of Ghana's economy. The United States can help create high-skilled and high-value jobs, building on the innovation, ingenuity, and industriousness that have characterized U.S. companies, many of whom are here tonight, who are eager to explore more business in and with Ghana when the conditions are favorable to investment.
Rolf Olson is the deputy head of mission in charge of the U.S. Embassy's Charge d'Affaires. Meanwhile, Ghana's Minister for Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts, Abla Jifa Komashi, speaking at the event, also called on the U.S. government to renew the African Growth and Opportunity Act, AGWA, citing its vital role in boosting Ghana's exports, job creation, and attracting U.S. investments, especially in the garment and textile sector.
One of the most impactful frameworks through which our economic partnership has flourished is the African Growth and Opportunities Act, AGOA. Since its inception in 2000, Ghana has proudly remained an eligible beneficiary country till date. Over the years, the program has created meaningful opportunities for Ghanaian businesses, particularly in textiles and apparel, agriculture, and value-added manufacturing. It has supported livelihoods, enhanced export capacity, and integrated small and medium enterprises into global markets. In 2024 alone, official figures released by the Office of the United States Trade Representatives showed that Ghana's exports to the United States and AGOA reached approximately $1.2 billion. These trade flows are more than mere statistics. They reflect the livelihoods, dignity, and empowerment of Ghanaian workers, especially women and young people.
Abla Jifa Gomashi is the Minister for Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts. Away from that, the Member of Parliament for Asunafo North, Haruna Mohammed, has raised concerns over the increasing rate of drug abuse among Ghanaian youth and called for urgent government intervention through the establishment of modern, fully equipped regional rehabilitation centers across the country. Speaking to Citi News, the Asunafo North legislator noted that Ghana's existing psychiatric facilities such as Pantang, Accra Psychiatric and Ankafo hospitals are severely overstretched and lack the capacity to meet the growing demand for addiction-related services.
Give it a vulnerable population, but we invest so much in construction of sports infrastructure. Currently, when you go to every constituency, you'll find that the government has built astroturf and stuff in every constituency. Nobody is saying it's not good. It's also a way of developing our people who are interested in sports. However, go to circle. If the government decides to reform our brothers who are already sports because of the usage of drugs to Kolebu, Pantai, and Kafu, is the facility going to accommodate them? No. That is the reason I have proposed that the government should invest in construction of rehabilitation centers across the 16 regions of the country.
Haruna Mohammed is the Member of Parliament for Asunafo North. Now, Deputy Chief of Staff at the Office of the President, Nana Oyebampo Ado, has called for equitable resource allocation and strategic findings to improve Ghana's national HIV response delivery. She made these remarks at the launch of the 2024 HIV and AIDS estimates and projections in Accra earlier today. According to the 2024 findings, 334,000 persons are living with HIV, while 15,000 others have gotten new HIV infections identified and some related deaths recorded as well. Addressing stakeholders and partners, Nana Oyebampo Ado reaffirming government's continued commitment to championing HIV/AIDS eradication by bridging the funding gap.
Even as we celebrate these achievements, we must not lose sight of the realities that confront us. The epidemic continues to affect lives across the country, with some regions and vulnerable populations bearing a disproportionate burden. Addressing these inequities must remain at the heart of our national response if we are to leave no one behind. Due to the challenges in directly measuring the numbers of people living with HIV, those newly diagnosed or those who have passed away from AIDS-related illnesses, mathematical models offer a reliable method for estimating the scope and impact of the epidemic.
Deputy Chief of Staff at the Office of the President, Nana Oyebampo Ado, speaking there. Acting Director General of the Ghana AIDS Commission, Dr. Akambo, however, stressed that more strides need to be taken to eradicate the prevalence of HIV in the country.
Even as we celebrate these achievements, we must not lose sight of the realities that confront us. The epidemic continues to affect lives across the country, with some regions and vulnerable populations bearing a disproportionate burden. Addressing these inequities must remain at the heart of our national response if we are to leave no one behind.
You heard Dr. Kamasewa Kangbo, and he is the Acting Director General of the Ghana AIDS Commission. Now, the Tertiary Education Workers Union of Ghana, TEWGH, has defended its decision to embark on an indefinite nationwide strike following what they describe as the expiration of a 7-day ultimatum issued to relevant authorities over the recognition of its representatives on the governing councils of traditional universities. The union argues that despite holding majority membership across all traditional public universities in Ghana, the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission (GTEC) has sidelined its representatives in favor of those from the Teachers and Educational Workers Union under the Trades Union Congress (TEWU-TUC). Here is National Chairman of TEWGH, Suleiman Abdulrahman.
We will not compromise on our demands or back down in the face of adversity. We call for the establishment of a clear, transparent, and democratic process for determining union representation in tertiary education institutions, ensuring that the voice of the majority is respected and reflected in governance structures.
National Chairman of TEWGH, Suleiman Abdulrahman, speaking there. The University of Professional Studies, Accra, UPSA, has said that the institution would respectfully enforce compliance with the dress code set for students. This comes after a staff member was involved in a viral altercation with a level 100 female student over dress code enforcement. The incident, which was captured on video and widely circulated on social media, was criticized by a section of the public. In an interview on Eyewitness News, the Director of Public Affairs at UPSA, Abaloko, said the dress code, which has been in existence since the inception of the school, is to maintain the reputation of the institution.
We hear the public, we have listened, the compliance, the enforcement will go on. We will continue to do it in a very respectable and dignified way. Nobody has a right to touch anybody, and that we would enforce that. We are training the team that is enforcing this, and we are using our student leaders also to continue to engage our students.
Abaloko is Director of the Public Affairs Department at University of Professional Studies Accra, UPSA. That's our package for you today for today's edition of the Citi Prime News, which has been live from number 11 Dr. Morton Loop in Adabraka, Accra. Visit citinewsroom.com for more stories. I am Ejubi Wiafe Akenti. Thank you for listening. Good afternoon.
Citi News. We speak first.